Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the ranch. I'm Dr. Lee, and the sun's going down on another beautiful day in South Texas. I hope the weather is as good where you are as it is here, and I hope the world has been kind to you as well. We've been really busy around here. We've had several trying months in a row, but things are shaping up for us and looking a whole lot better, especially now that we've got Mark home for a month at a time instead of a weekend at a time. But we'll get into that in just a little bit. To kind of catch you up on what's been going on, my daughter, my one and only daughter, Allie, has been here for about 3 weeks. She left last weekend to go back to College Station to finish up her doctorate degree. She's almost a doctor, almost a veterinarian, and by the next time she comes home, she will be. So we're really excited about that. The reason she was home for the 3 weeks, though, is she's also planning on getting married this summer. And they had a couple's shower. She and her fiance Spencer, they were in, and all the wedding party and entourage was here. So it was big doings, and we went out and messed up Matt and Mare's house for the wedding shower. Highly recommend having it in someone else's house if you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, we had a really good time. Spencer, who we dearly love, Allie's fiance, his parents were here, and we've already met them quite a few times. But we went out after the shower, and we had a drink and had really good German food while they were here too. So it was really a wonderful weekend. We really had a great time. The kids were here for the shower, and then they all went to Fredericksburg. The girls did, spent the night, and then they came back, and then they went to Austin for a night too. So everybody was pretty much partied out by the time Sunday came around and it was time to go to church. But anyway, a good time was had by all, and we're really excited for Allie and Spencer to start their new lives off this summer. So we'll keep you informed on that. My band, a lot of y'all always ask me about my band. We will be playing the reception for the wedding, and we're really looking forward to that. We played Matt and Mare's wedding reception. We also played Mark and Jackie's wedding reception. And each of these times, Meredith's dad, who's also a guitar player, comes in with our band. He and I've played a lot in each other's bands through the years. He's played in my band a lot more than I've played in his, but we always have a good time getting together. And there's another powerful vocalist that joins us for these weddings too, and he plays with us pretty frequently as well. So it's going to be a big band. We usually go as a foursome, but we have a bunch of other people that we add in from time to time, and so it's really going to be a fun time. I was thinking about this video today and talking about Mark, who is Meredith's dad, playing with our band again. It reminded me of when Meredith and Matt got married and the name conflicts that we have. And what I'm talking about, Meredith has a dad named Mark and a brother named Matt. And Matt has, he's a Matt, and he has a brother named Mark. And then both Meredith and Matt have sisters named Allie. So in the 11 of us, meaning Meredith's family and Matt's family, the 11 of us put together, 6 of us have the same name. So it's pretty crazy when we get together. Somebody will holler out, "Hey Mark, hey Matt, hey Allie," and you never know who you're going to get. But anyway, kind of a crazy thing right there. But it fits in with the personality of our family. But anyway, like I said, looking forward to this summer. Big doings for old Allie Cat. We're going to get her married off and get her life started, both with the marriage and as starting a new life as a veterinarian. Those things happen pretty close together, so it'll be a really exciting time for them. And on a much more somber note, I do need to tell you, a lot of y'all ask me about Uncle Floyd all the time and his wife. And his wife has passed away. As many of you know, she had terrible, just mentally crippling dementia. And she was just so confused, and her life was such a struggle there at the end that honestly it was a blessing that the good Lord came and took her to paradise, where she'll have a perfect body and a beautiful hereafter, if you know what I mean. But anyway, Uncle Floyd is pretty sad, despite the fact that it's, you know, he saw it coming. We all saw it coming when she finally did pass away. It really broke his heart, and so he was pretty sad about that. We had the funeral shortly thereafter, and then within a few days after the funeral, and after the funeral's on a Friday, and everybody went to church on Sunday, and then within a couple of days, Uncle Floyd got really sick with a stomach bug, and he's been off of his chemo for quite some time, and he just told me that he just knew that it was with drug withdrawal, because he'd been on that chemo so long, and now he's not got it, and that's what caused him to get sick. Despite the fact that the doctor at the ER where we had to take him told him it was a virus, and despite the fact that Floyd, being Floyd, at the funeral kissed no less than 100 women, and probably a good majority of them on the mouth, and the bold majority of them over 75 years of age. And then 2 days later, he's back in church, and everybody had to go up to him and tell him again, you know, their condolences and all that. And he kissed every one of them again, but he wasn't going to have any of that. I said, Floyd, I think this was a virus, and I think maybe you ought to back off kissing people on the mouth all the time. But try to tell a 104-year-old guy what to do, sometimes you're wasting your breath, if you know what I mean. But nevertheless, if you'd like to send Uncle Floyd a sympathy card, he would appreciate that. And you can use my mail post office box that's always listed in the comment section and in the description. So anyway, if you'd like to do that, you're more than welcome to. And I'll try to get him on here. Like I said, he's been sick, so I told him the other day we need to make another video, and he was really up for that, but he just wasn't feeling too good. And I said, well, let's just wait until you're feeling better. So probably next week or something like that, I'll try to get the camera over there at his house, and we'll get a little video for you. But anyway, I knew y'all would want to know that. Also, one more thing about Uncle Floyd, the reason he's not been on chemo for quite some time is his blood work is really coming around quite well. It's still very low. He's got about 1/4 to 1/5 the blood cells that you and I have, but his body's acclimated to it. But it was waxing and waning. It would get up high and it'd go low and high, you know, not real high, but high for him. And for the last 2 months, it's been tolerable. It's not been dipping down to where he'd have to go get transfusions and things like that. So he's done quite well. I'm kind of worried to see what all the stress with the loss of his wife and all may have on him. So we're watching him pretty closely for that. And getting back to the topic of Mark, which I said I'd come back to, Mark is back home now for a month at a time. As you know, he was having to spend Monday through Friday in Houston getting all kinds of radiation and all kinds of chemotherapy. And now that is pretty much all over with, and he will be getting immunotherapy, and it's on a monthly basis now. And he goes in, and I think it's around a 1-hour infusion to get the medication, and then he's set for a month. Granted, the radiation that he got is still in effect in those sensitive tissues, so he'll still have the sunburn, and it'll still be cooking him for a little bit. The chemotherapy more than likely is going to be wearing off pretty quickly, but the radiation could hang on for 2 to 3 more weeks. So he's going to have to be dealing with the burn for a little bit longer, so it's not going to be too terribly comfortable, but he's really feeling pretty good. At least he says he is, and he's acting really good. So I think just being home is a great part of that. There's nothing worse than having to be away from your family 5 out of 7 days, especially when you're not feeling good and you've got something intimidating like cancer. It's kind of a scary thing, and it's also pretty uncomfortable too. But nevertheless, a lot of you have asked what immunotherapy is, and immunotherapy is where there's proteins in the body. One's called PD-1, one's called PD-L1, and those particular proteins are responsible from keeping our white blood cells from killing everything. We have a lot of white blood cells that kill viruses, they kill bacteria, things such as that, and they will also kill cancer cells too. But these proteins prevent them from really unleashing all their powers and killing everything, including normal healthy tissue too. So Mark's going to be getting medication that will slow these proteins down. Those proteins are basically like they turn the switch off in the T cells, in the white blood cells, the killer cells. They turn the switch off that keeps the killer cells from killing a whole lot more than what they normally should. And it allows these particular cells to go and kill the tumor out. The tumors have a lot of this compound, the PDL proteins and the PDL1 proteins, and with that in mind, they can turn the T cells off to keep them from killing the cancer out. The cancer can keep our bodies from killing the cancer. So these medications he's getting will take those proteins out of the way, so the switch is flipped and stays on all the time, and these T cells can kill the tumor out. 20% of the tissue this tumor is made from is susceptible to this particular immunotherapy, and the doctor told us there, even if your tumor's not made up of the same compounds that Mark's is, that's susceptible, they still get a significant kill off these tumors. So we are really, really positive about the outcome on this immunotherapy. There's a lot of you guys that have written in on the comment sections talking about how good of a job it did on you or your loved one. So we're hoping and praying and expecting that to be the case here. And speaking of prayer, I really think Mark is doing so well because of all the prayer he's been receiving. I think the good Lord has blessed him and wants to keep him around to be a daddy and a husband and a son, and we're just really thankful to God for doing that. So we really appreciate your prayers, and we appreciate all of you guys just for being there for us and all the wonderful things you've had to say and all the support and help you've given us. Well, guys, that's about it from out on the ranch for today. I've got a whole bunch of video that I've shot over the last 3 or 4 weeks that I've just not had time to put it into a video. I wanted to get this one out today. It's a little bit rushed, but got a whole lot of stuff on the grandkids. I've got a whole lot of stuff on old Dozer. I'd like to make a video about him. As you know, he's having some troubles too. And just things that are going on out here on the ranch. There's a lot of it. So I've got a lot of work to do. And now that Mark is home, we're not going to be babysitting the kids nearly as much. We're not going to have to be driving to Houston at all. And so I'm going to have a whole lot more time to be making some videos. So I promise you I'll be back at it again and getting some of these crazy, goofy videos out for you. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for being there for my family. You guys have really come through in the clutch in the last few months, and you know what I'm talking about. As always, please remember I love you, and we will look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye now. So what you doing there, Al?
Neutering a dog, Dad.
All right. Who's going to learn you?
That's a mistake.